Okay, so we're back again, and as you can see, I've now mounted the blank into the lathe. It has the expanding jaw chucks, and they are simply mounted into that recess that I cut with the Forstner bit on the back of the job. I have brought the tailstock up simply as a security precaution. While I'm doing this job, I will not be wearing a face shield, nor will I have the dust extractors going. The dust extractors would simply make too much noise and you wouldn't hear anything I was saying. And the reason I don't wear the face shield is, believe it or not, the same reason. That is, with the face shield down you wouldn't be able to hear what I'm saying. But I am wearing safety glasses, so I am conscious of safety as much as possible in this situation. So the first job, as always, turn the job to round. So let's go to work. Again, nothing's written in blood here. I'm going to use a bowl gouge. You could just as easily use a scraper or some other tool if that's what you wanted to do. Okay, time to move the job up a bit. Okay, that's got it round. So now it's time to start working on the face of the clock here. The back side really doesn't matter a whole lot, although I will give it a sand and I'll do some other things with it as well as we get there. So time to do the front, and I'll just demonstrate that quickly before I switch the camera off. So I'll pull that back out of the way. And it's very similar, in fact, in many ways, very similar to what you'd be working, or the way you'd be working if you were working on a bowl. The one difference is that you will need to drill out the centre, because you need to make a hole for that shaft for the clock to go through. And I use an 8mm drill bit for that. So let's get it drilled out. Just using a good old-fashioned Jacob's chuck, no big deal. And we just drill it right through, because of course with the expanding jaws on the chuck there's actually nothing behind it. And there we have a hole. Now the big trick now, of course, is how much of this can I remove without removing too much, because remember the shaft length is going to vary. And the answer is a simple little tool I devised, just a piece of bent wire, and I mark on it with a permanent marker the length of the shaft that I'm going to deal with, and I can simply take that with the hook on the end, put it in and pull it back, and I've got a depth gauge for that small hole, and it will work a real treat, no problem at all. So let's take this front off, get it down to depth, and then we can move on. Now, whether you choose to use a bowl gouge, a detail gouge, a scraper, I'm not going to lay that down, that's up to you. But basically, all we need to do is start to remove the material. As with all of these things, the shape is really up to you. Be as decorative as you like, but I'm going to use our little depth gauge, you can see, just like this, and no, got to take some more yet. So I'm going to get this down to size, and I'll get back to you once we're down and ready for the next step. See you soon.